video. So, this request came as a question that is chart specific, but I decided I'm going to take it anyway, and I'm actually taking it on a Saturday rather than a Friday. And the question is about Venus. It's about Venus with the moon together in Capricorn for a Pisces ascendant. So there are multi layers to this question, and I'm going to cover each and every layer. And I answer this by archetype. So whether you're using tropical or sidereal, this can manifest for you. Okay, because I'm just answering archetypically. So let's begin with the moon. And I have a moon in Capricorn video in my series of moon around the zodiac. So the moon in Capricorn is in its detriment. It's opposite to the sign of its rulership. Um, and then we have and I answer more on the moon specifically in the moon in Capricorn series. Then we have Venus in Capricorn. And I actually did a Venus in Capricorn transit and I think also natal. So I also have another video about Venus in Capricorn that you can watch. You can scroll down my videos and look for that. Um, and Venus in Capricorn is very practical, and is that means we have both Moon and Venus Saturn ruled. So I'll begin this episode from adjoining the Moon and Venus in the rulership of Saturn. And this is the Saturn of Capricorn. And when I talk about Saturn in Capricorn versus Saturn in Aquarius, one thing that sticks to me ever since I learned the kind of Hellenistic division of signs and the planets was when they were talking about Capricorn and Aquarius. One of the comments that Aspen Kopic made in the astrology podcast back then was that Capricorn Saturn is locked in and Aquarius Saturn is locked out. So in Capricorn, um, there is a pyramid structure of climbing up the ladder, and there are confinements where you are within the confinements. So, hello there. So there are confinements when you are within the confinements. And that means if Venus is, for example, relationships. So relationships can feel a bit restricting. And you need to see where Saturn is. Okay, I didn't ask you where Saturn is. So first of all, you need to look where is Saturn. Saturn's look, if Saturn is, for example, in Aquarius, then you may have a more free experience. If Saturn is in Capricorn too, then, which I guess is not the case, otherwise it would have said so. But you need to see where is the Saturn and what house. So what house will tell you what aspect in life is triggered whenever this Venus is triggered, whenever this moon is triggered too. And there is a sense of dedication, a realistic dedication, practicality, um, contraction, a necessary contraction for you to form and keep relationships. Because it's Saturn ruled, then topics of relationships can arrive a bit later in life or mature later in life or have age gap. Another thing that Saturn rules is agriculture and crystals. So on minerals. So bathing in minerals. Okay, both the moon and Venus have to do with self-care. So Venus is more sensual. Bathing in minerals for the skin, So that can be like the Epsom salt, that can be mineral salt, that is natural. So having baths in that can be very supportive of this energy for you, tending to your skin, um, tending, nourishing your hair with herbs as well. Okay, your nails and so on. So, growing herbs, growing roses. Growing roses is excellent for you. I want to buy my own roses. Growing roses, um, and caring for them can be great to bring in the good wealth that this aspect can bring, because it can. Milk thistle. I don't know how you say it in English. Milk thistle, is another herb that easily grows, and you just have to not weed it out. Okay, if you don't weed it out, then it naturally grows. You give it a place, then you control its growth. Then you can make teas with it. Okay, it's both supportive of the liver function. It's a great herb. You can study about it. And this is more connected with the moon. So working with these two herbs, and you don't have to consume them, just grow them. Okay, if it's healthy for you, consume them, but you can also grow them, and develop a relationship with these herbs. That's when you do that, because it said now it's 11th house. Then 11th house is our goals and dreams. When you do rituals with these herbs, when you do salt baths, when you do baths with roses, okay, when you tend to your skin, um, when you grow your food, because Venus and Moon is also about food, so grow your food, grow the food that you can grow. And Saturn rules agriculture. Okay? You nourish the soil, and that is going to support you in your goals and dreams as well. If you're going to feel like your goals and dreams are growing, if you try to grow wealth, because Venus is also wealth, both the moon and Venus, because it's self nourishing, right? Moon is also real estate. Um, then have the structure for your wealth, and when you grow these herbs, um, you learn to love, you learn to care, you learn to nourish, and you practice that, then, money grows on trees. People say money doesn't grow on trees. Money grows on trees at the end of the day, when it comes down to that. So you're going to have, a realistic appraisal of relationships through this agriculture, through tending to you, through nourishing you. You will feel more emotionally stable. Okay, nothing more, beneficial than a herbal detox bath. If you're feeling moody, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling anxious, um, it can help you with your acquaintances. Think about the rose. It has this beautiful flower, but it also has thorns. Okay, to protect this beauty. You think about your acquaintances. Maybe some people you need to use the thorns, and some people you can show, the flower to, because a lot of people are going to come to your flower. Okay, you shine in the 11th house. You go to a conference, you're visible. And not only that, if you are looking for a spouse that is Venusian, doesn't matter a woman or a man, a Venusian, a person who's more sensual, a person who, tends to pleasure in life, to wealth in life. If you're looking for such a partner, then you may find it in conferences, you may find it in your social circle, that is dreams and goals related. And when you tend to these herbs, then you tend to yourself and you nourish yourself. Then also you bring in, and the type of Venus that you bring in is a very practical. It's the person that's going to help you with getting your taxes sorted out. Okay? It's the person who um, is going to speak with you about investment opportunities that are solid. Who's going to talk about the legal aspect of things. Someone you can rely on the long run. Okay? It's not so flamboyant. It's not so flirty. It can be, but you know. Um, so both Moon and Venus in the 11th means that you're emotionally visible. You can't quite hide your feelings in large crowds. Um, and that can contribute to volatility. But then I talked about, take a bath before you go to a conference, take a bath before you do something that has to do with your goals and dreams, with large audiences, okay? And that is going to improve, tremendously improve, and give you the longevity that these placements can hold. Okay, longevity to your skin if you tend to it daily. Longevity to your and you can have nice skin. It doesn't matter the color of the skin. Okay, all skin colors are beautiful. What matters is if you are glowing. Okay, if you tend into your skin, you are glowing like I'm glowing right now. You tend to your skin, you tend to your hair, and your hair becomes beautiful. Yeah, like my hair is being pampered. It becomes more vibrant, more shiny. You turn to your nourishment, you nourish yourself with good herbs, then you glowing from within. Um, and then you get the longevity aspect of it. Um, Seventh from the moon for you is Cancer. So you could have a person, a partner, a spouse that has Cancerian qualities as well. Because traditionally you look at the moon. Okay, some people look sun sign astrology looks at the sun. Tradition, medieval, Hellenistic, and so on. Astrology they look at the ascendant. The ascendant is you, and we also look traditionally at the moon. So seventh from the moon is Cancer, means that you're drawn to a person that is watery in nature, can be very caring, get the potential, the high potential. We need to look at how are your moon and Venus aspected, how is Saturn aspected. In any case, those working with those things is going to give you benefit. Um, as to deities, then Lakshmi is for Venus, Durga, Lakshmi, Durga. Um, and the way I do that is that whenever I feel, I would have the mantra that I need for the day, then I will recite this mantra, I will sing this mantra, I will hear it while it chant while in the bathroom. Okay, because when you're tending to your skin, chat or yeah, chant while working, chant to your flowers, chant to your flowers. Okay, say mantras just to your flowers, to your um, herbs that you grow. Um, Other thing, well, Luna, Selene are all goddesses of the moon. Agriculture, you may or may not want to incorporate Demeter. Okay, Ceres, Demeter, which is also agriculture goddess. Um, yeah, I think that's the way that's the way to go. And again, you need to know where is Saturn and how is the Moon and Venus aspected. Okay. Um, then about Venus. Okay, about the moon? Is it a growing moon? Is it a decreasing moon? Okay, right now, for example, the moon is decreasing. We had the full moon in Libra or sidereal, probably Virgo, and now the moon is decreasing. So you see that if the moon is closer to the sun, okay, then the sun is closer to the moon, then it is decreasing. If the moon, um, yeah, if the moon is closer to the sun, then the sun is closer to the moon. But you go in this way, okay? If the moon is closer to the sun, then the sun is closer to the moon, is decreasing. If the sun is closer to the moon, then the moon is closer than the sun. You go in the anti-clockwise. Yes, anti-clockwise. So anti-clockwise, if the moon is closer to the sun, then the sun is closer to the moon, decreasing. The other way around, the moon is increasing. If they're exactly equal, it's a full moon. If they're conjunct together, it's the new moon. So you need to know if your moon is growing, if your moon is decreasing. The phases where the moon is, they also have meanings around your life path. If your life path is about learning to expand, okay, like mine, I'm learning to expand. The moon is growing. So I had a lot of anxiety, I had a lot of this, and slowly, I learned that I can expand, I can actually be more optimistic. Or the moon is decreasing, so you are in a completion of a cycle in life, and something is completing for you in this life relative to other lives. So that's one thing to look at. For Venus, and for Venus, there are a couple of things that can happen. First of all, is Venus retrograde or direct? Okay. Um, so Venus retrograde may mean that there is you have to find your own way around it. It's not going to be straightforward. So whether it's money, whether it's wealth, whether it's the deities you work with, whether it's the Venusian people in your life, um, a spouse, then you would need to have your own trial and error process in order to see what do you value. So your values, right? Another thing that can happen is Venus a morning star or an evening star. Is Venus visible or not visible? Because visible Venus is going to yield results faster in your life. Invisible Venus, then on a progressed level, she's going to be visible at around your 40s. And I thank Lada Duncheva for this insight around Venus, invisibility and visibility in the natal chart. Okay, then I heard it in her channel. I think she was interviewing someone, I don't remember, but you can look it up. And is Venus morning star or evening star? Now, I get confused between right and left, Rahu, Ketu, morning, evening, okay? So, what you need to see is uh, Venus can be Inanna from Uruk, okay? She can be Ishtar, she can be Aphrodite, she can be Persephone. Okay, so the question is Venus the goddess that goes into the underworld and has those experiences where you'll be, and if you're that Venus, then you will be exposed. Either it will happen for you, or you will meet women that went into the underworld. So women that um, had to defend their body, or women that had to or were exposed to dark facets of life in some way, shape, or form in relationships. Or Venus that is Aphrodite. Okay, it's the Venus that is just glowing. Okay, you need to remember Venus is also the goddess of war, not just peace. So protection is also a facet of Venus. Okay, the roses, they have the thorns, so it's considered the Venus Mars. Um, but Venus can also be being comfortable in your own sensuality and therefore being able to set boundaries quite easily because you know what you want and you'll defend yourself. Okay, if you are sensual, comfortable in your own skin, literally, then you know what you want, you know what you don't want. Well, it's a no, it's a no. So, joining these things together, um, the herbs you can grow, okay, so milk thistle, rose, okay, also geranium is also a great herb. Um, Mineral bath, okay, for the Saturn, mineral bath for the skin, so you get both the moon, the water, the mineral Saturn, which is also the moon, and the sensual. So it's for you to enjoy. Okay, have a beautiful bathroom, a luxurious bathroom. Even though bathroom is third house back because why am I saying bathroom? Because you want to tend to your skin with water and minerals. Okay, and you want to massage your skin. Okay, and you want to use also herbs. You also want to have roses in your bath. And when you bathe daily, then this is a daily practice that you nourish. You bring the water in, so you're not dry and cold. And if you go out, if you only give a lecture after you do that, or you have a colonia that contains this herb, then you will feel more seen, more appreciated, more valued, valuable, and you connect to your own values. Chanting, so Lakshmi, chanting to your herbs, chanting to your roses. Durga, okay, Durga, I found Durga to be great in, especially if I'm taking a bath or a relaxing bath, and she's very protective too. Okay, Saturn sets boundaries. It is defense. Okay, fence, literally sets restriction. The fence to fence, put the fence around something. Having a protected rose with the fence is Saturn Venus. So all those things, make sure you do them. They are going to help you grow your dreams and goals and grow your wealth and your investments. Have perhaps more solid investments because Saturn is solid, or investments in rocks and minerals. You want to make sure they're ethically sourced. Okay. Um, Investments in agriculture, forestation. Capricorn rules mountains. Okay. So if you're given a conference, and this conference is, let's say, in Switzerland or in the Alpines, um, then it's a better place for you. Okay, higher place, better for you to give a lecture around the mountains in a building that's around the mountains. You'll be better there. So I hope this was helpful. And like I said, I do take requests, and this is useful. Um, this is useful in general. It's just that if it's your 11th house, then it's going to be around conferences. If it's your ninth house is going to be around studies, so you want to study in a university that maybe is in the mountains, um, or travel to places like the Alpines or so. If it is, seventh house, then all these things I said are going to help tremendously with your one-to-one partnership. So you can also take that and use that even if it's not the exact same thing. So the rose is for the Venus, and the milk thistle is for the Cancer, for the Cancer, for the moon, um, moon herb. So you can play with that. Saturn's minerals, crystals as well. So rose quartz, moonstone, ethically sourced, if there is such a thing. So that is what you want to be using. That was me, and I'm thankful that you're watching. I'll see you in my next episode. Bye bye.